Now, from Wish TV, this is The Zone Extra, presented by Franciscan Health Sports Medicine. Coming up tonight, it's another week full of great high school sports action.
The Millers win! Millers win!
In the Coach's Corner, meet the man in his first season leading the legendary Lawrence North boys basketball program. Plus, our Athlete of the Week from Warren Central is the recipient of this year's Mr. Football Wide Receiver Award.
And my coach was like, "You got Mr. Football." I'm like, "Nah, you're playing me right now. Like, it's not real."
Everyone's in a festive mood for an all-new Zone Extra right now.
Yes, we are indeed. Hey, good evening to you folks and welcome to the Zone Extra. I'm Anthony Calhoun. What a great week of high school sports action. In the Coach's Corner tonight, he's a familiar face at Lawrence North in a new role this season. Wildcats boys basketball coach Chris Giffen is here in studio. Plus, our Athlete of the Week was just honored with the Wide Receiver Mr. Football Award, good issue to Warren Central senior Joe Walker. And we go on campus tonight at the University of Missouri to catch up with former Cathedral state champion wrestler Zeke Selzer and this freshman year with the Tigers. Now let's take a look at this week in high school sports. Boys basketball season rolls on with several great teams here in central Indiana at Brownsburg. The Dogs remain perfect on the season with a 33-point win over Pike. Meanwhile, at Zionsville, the Eagles hosted Lawrence Central in a game that went back and forth all night. In the end, Zionsville getting the 4-point win in overtime for their third straight victory. Brebeuf looks good early in the season. The Rays picked up a 30-point win over Shortridge on Friday. And at Noblesville, it was a thrilling Hamilton County showdown between the Millers and Carmel. The lead changes hands multiple times down the stretch. Game time with time running out is Cooper Bean. Coming up here, the game winner at the buzzer is good. Noblesville wins 45-42 is your final. In girls basketball, congrats to Ben Davis as they claim the Marion County Championship on Saturday. The Giants knocked off two-time defending county champion North Central in overtime in the semifinals, and they won the championship by 2 over Lawrence Central. It's the first county title for the Giants in 11 years. And last Friday at Fishers, it was a Hamilton County showdown in the Hoosier Crossroads as the Tigers hosted defending state champion Noblesville. Fishers jumped out to a 10-0 lead to start the game and would go on to pick up a 55-47 victory. The Tigers had 3 players reach double figures, led by junior Talea Harris, who had a game high 20 points. Up next for Fishers is the Mudsock game coming up on Saturday night at a rival Hamilton Southeastern. All right, here's a look at this week's top 5 in the girls basketball class 4A poll. Number 1, you see South Bend, Washington there. Zionsville 2, HSE 3, Bedford North Lawrence 4, and then you got Fishers coming in 5th there in the state. All right, meanwhile, on the mat tonight, as we head through December, the high school wrestling season is kicking into high gear with several great teams and wrestlers right here in central Indiana. Saturday was another strong day for the third-ranked Center Grove wrestling team as the Trojans won the Zionsville Invitational in convincing fashion. Center Grove had 9 different wrestlers, folks, finished first in their weight classes. Floyd Central was runner-up at the event, while Chesterton finished 3rd in the competition that took place there. Okay, time for a break, folks. We still have much more ahead here tonight on the Zone Extra. Up next is the Coach's Corner. He's the new man in charge of the legendary boys basketball program. Chris Giffen of Lawrence North is here with us tonight. And still ahead, after a stellar season with the Warriors, he just received the Wide Receiver Mr. Football Award. We're introduced you to our Athlete of the Week from Warren Central.
This is the Zone Extra, presented by Franciscan Health Sports Medicine. The Coach's Corner, presented by Bailey & Wood Mortgage Lender.
All right, we're back here on the Zone Extra. Anthony Calhoun here with you tonight. Time now for the Coach's Corner. You probably recognize his face, folks, here. He's spent the decade coaching at Lawrence North girls team, that is, high school, including a 2020 state championship. And now He is in his first season coaching the Wildcats boys program after Jack Keefer's retirement. Please welcome to the show, the Zone Extra, that is, Chris Giffen here with us tonight. Coach, great seeing you. Thank you so much for joining us. And we've had you on the show many times talking about the great job you do with the ladies program, but now switching over to the men and got some big shoes to fill. A guy who has won a lot of basketball games, but first things first, how are things going for you in the program?
They're going well. Thanks for having me, of course.
Yeah.
They're going well. We're a young team overall, and we're 3-1 right now with we think a really promising future.
Yeah, let's talk about that. 3-1 so far this season. What has it been like for you from going from the ladies now to dealing with the young men right now at the same school? What's it been like?
It's been a transition, but one that I'm not completely unfamiliar with. I spent 10 years as an assistant for Coach Kiefer prior to taking the head girls job. So I've been back and forth, and the boys are a little different in terms of how you can get on them and motivate them and whatnot. But
yeah.
It's still X's and O's. It's still basketball.
Yeah, and so 3-1, but you said something very important I noticed about how it seemed like to me you feel like just give your team some time. Come March, you may see something special out of these.
I certainly think we're capable.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of really good pieces together, and we've got a team that has good chemistry. They seem to really enjoy being around each other, and certainly they have listened better than I even anticipated. The girls I thought were always really good at listening to stuff, and you wonder always about boys, but they've been great with that. Yeah,
I want to ask you about, just as far as you personally, what has it been like for you? Because this is a transition from you, going from the girls to the boys, even though you say you worked with the boys team before, but what's that transition been like for you? I mean, I guess at the end of the day, it's basketball, and you're all about trying to win, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's competition, and the players deserve a chance to win no matter what you're coaching and what sex you're coaching, and so we try and give them that. But for me personally, it's just been an honor and a blessing to still be at Lawrence North and to be able to take over for a legend, and that's been a big kind of weight on my shoulders, but it's one I deal with every day. Yeah, we see you working here with your team, and what has it been like for you? How much joy do you get day in, day out, practice after practice, game after game, spending time with these student athletes here? I love it. I mean, that's my passion, my life that I've chosen, and certainly one that's been very fulfilling for me. Yeah. Trying to put the product together and put yourself and your team in a position to win and to win championships. And the school that I work for has been unbelievably supportive over the years. Yeah. Girls, boys, doesn't matter. And so it's all about the people. Hey, you talk about Lawrence North and the job that you guys have done over the years, from the boys program to the girls program. One thing's for sure, you always got a tough schedule. Yes. And you look at Lawrence North, their schedule coming up. I mean, you got some big-time games coming your way. Let's take a look at it now. You got Northrop coming up here. You got a tournament you're playing in after Christmas. You got Marion, and then you got Warren Central, and you got, of course, the Marion County tournament. If you're not ready to go to work in mid-January, there's seriously a problem, right? Exactly, yeah. And if you're not, you'll quickly find out that what's lacking. So yeah, we've got a great schedule always, ultra competitive, and certainly around the holiday times here, we've got some teams that are going to definitely, try us out for sure. You're looking forward to that, though, getting a chance to play those matchups there. Sure. You'll probably learn a lot about your team as well, right? Absolutely, and that's what you want. Yeah. You want to be able to learn about your team through competition. I want to ask you about Coach Kiefer. I mean, we know what he's done for high school athletics in general. Just the whole. When you talk about athletics, and you talk about great coaches, that guy right there, Jack Kiefer, comes to mind, and especially what he did on the basketball court and the programs he had and the student athletes and the players who've gone to the NBA, you name it. What's it been like? I mean, let me ask this first, what does he mean to you? And then two, tell me what it's like when, now that you're coaching, he's getting a chance to retire. What's it been like, the communication with him as well? Well, he means an unbelievable deal to me. I love the guy. He gave me my start at the high school level, enabled me to, learn so much from him and really set me up for, my future success. And I owe that to him and his family. And so ultimately, it's very humbling being able to walk on the court for practice every day and see his name. When a guy's name's on the court, you got to kind of think about exactly what you're doing. And so I owe everything to him. So awesome. He's been around some, but he's traveled a lot and is enjoying retirement. And it was nice to have him at the LC game, certainly.
Yeah, and I know, as you know, he's just a phone call away, right?
Yeah, no, I still bounce things off of him, and anytime I solicit him for information, he's been great.
That's awesome, Coach. Well, look, all the best to you. Good luck, and I look forward to talking about your team in late January, going into February, of course, before sectionals will be here before you know it. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
All right, taking a break. Still to come here tonight on Zone Extra. It's our Athlete of the Week. A stellar season ends with a prestigious award awarded issued to Warren Central wide receiver Joe Walker. That story is on the way. Plus, we go on campus tonight to the University of Missouri to catch up with former Cathedral State champion wrestler Zeke Zelzer. That's coming up.
This is the Zone Extra, presented by Franciscan Health Sports Medicine.
All right, welcome back to the Zone Extra, everybody. Anthony Calhoun here with you tonight. This past season, Warren Central football averaged 32 points per game and won a football sectional championship. One big reason for that success was senior wide receiver Joe Walker. After the season, folks, Walker was named Indiana's wide receiver position Mr. Football winner. As a senior, Walker had 35 catches for 664 yards and 10 touchdowns, marking the second straight year he reached double-digit touchdown receptions. Next season, Walker will continue his football journey in the MAC at Western Michigan. He says finding out about the award was both a surprising and emotional experience.
Kind of counted myself out for Michigan football and just the whole thing regardless. And it hit me. When my phone was like buzzing, I'm like, what is going on with my phone? I looked, and my coach, it was like, you got Mr. Football. I'm like, nah, you're playing with me right now. Like, this is not real. I cried. Like, I dropped the tears, like, because I counted myself. I thought everybody counted me out. All the hard work that's been put in that nobody's seen, like, this finally came to show.
He's got the whole package, size, strength, speed. So I'm real curious, when you get to college, it's a different focus, and at the level he's going to, it's going to be class work and a whole lot of football work. And I think when the coach is getting dialed in, I think the sky's the limit. I think he can be a really special player at the next level.
I'm just going to look and work hard. Just looking to work hard, man. I'm trying to go in there. I'm not trying to redshirt. I want to go in there and play. Like, I'm trying to work hard, like, just go in there and show that, like, I'm here to win, like, MAC championship. Let's go.
You got to love it. All the best to him playing at the next level coming up next season. Time for a break. For more to come here tonight on the Zone Extra, including our play of the week. Plus, it's the latest edition of Ask the Commissioner with Paul Neidig of the IHSAA. That's on the way.
This is the Zone Extra, presented by Franciscan Health Sports Medicine.
Well, welcome back to the Zone Extra. Anthony Calhoun here with you tonight. Now it's time to go on campus where we catch up with a former Central Indiana high school athlete as they compete at the collegiate level. This week we head to the University of Missouri with former Cathedral wrestling star Zeke Zelzer. The last winter, Zelzer capped off his high school career in style with a third consecutive individual state championship. While at Cathedral, he put together a record of 161-3. He committed to Missouri, becoming the first wrestler from Indiana to join the prestigious Tigers program in 15 years. Now, Zeke is currently redshirting this season, but says he's loving his time at Missouri and developing into a better wrestler.
It's a lot different from high school. It's a whole different level when it comes to the athletes here in college, and like just everybody is so good. It's a lot tougher. It's been fun being in the room with all those guys and seeing all their progression, and hopefully I'm doing that next year on the starting lineup. And it's just been fun, like witnessing starters and how they do things and how I can learn from that so I can be like that next year.
No, that's great. All the best to him. Good luck to him there at Missouri. Time now to Ask the Commissioner, where we take one of your questions to IHSA Commissioner Paul Neidig and bring you his answer. So here's the question this week, folks. With the fall sports calendar in the books up, what is your takeaway from the season?
The first thing I would say is that high school sports still matter, and that's across from the state across the state from one end to the other, 407 schools. And we still had phenomenal crowds of people who live in communities that want to support the student athletes that also live there. And, you know, as we talked about before, the time-honored tradition of putting the uniform on that has your community's name on it of your high school is so important. And we've learned that that's just as important today as it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, or even 50 years ago in this state. Fans come out. They come out in great numbers to watch student athletes play for their high school.
Always great to hear from the commissioner. Now here's our play of the week. Kokomo hosting McCutcheon. Check out Junior Flory Badunga running on the break, gets the alley-oop, and throws it down. He had 34 points and 11 rebounds in the Wildcats' big win. Our crews, we see a lot of great action, but we want to see your best plays every week too. Here's a chance for you to submit your play of the week. There's information on the screen right there, and who knows, your video could possibly show up here on the Zone Extra here, and you could have the play of the week right there. See all the information to send right here to Wish TV. All right, one of our favorite things each fall is the battle for the Zone banner as we search for the best student section in Central Indiana. This year was another incredible competition, folks, with Franklin becoming the first school to win the banner twice. Here's a look at our time presenting the Grizzly Cubs their banner. Hi everybody, we're at Franklin Community High School getting ready to present to them the coveted Zone banner for having the best student section in Central Indiana this year. And how cool is this, everybody? They become the first school ever to win the Zone banner twice. Let's have some fun. Let's give these guys their banner.
AC, we got the banner! AC, we got the banner!
What is going on, Franklin? Best student section in Central Indiana. And there's one school at the end of the day can look right up there because you're the Zone banner champ. You guys became the first two-time champion for the Zone banner.
Yeah, number 2 times.
I say 2, you say time. 2. 2. I say 2, you say time. 2. 2.
They've been consistent throughout the whole year, and they bring it every Friday night. They've been in the crowd. They've had 300 plus kids every Friday night at a home game, and they travel well too. So it's been great. It's been a lot of fun.
AC, we got the banner! AC, we got the banner! Keep it going! AC, we got the banner! Keep it going! AC, we got the banner!
Who wants a shirt? Who wants a shirt?
We've had people in the community get involved in this, as you've seen from some of the stuff that's been out there, either social media or sent. And I was getting texts today from community members just like, hey, this is going to be a great day. Even throughout the day, on a Friday, when we got a big game on a Friday, you can feel it in the building. And we encourage that. We want them out there doing that. So it really is, it's a great atmosphere. Winning 2 of them just shows that we're keeping this going.
Franklin, congratulations. The Zone banner belongs to you. I can't wait to get this party started again. Coming up the fall next year. Hey, by the way, Mighty TV Channel 23 is the place to be for your high school basketball. Coming up Friday, 7:30, we got Lawrence Central getting set to take on Pike. You can see the game on our sister station, Mighty TV Channel 23. And it's a big night of high school hoops across Central Indiana with several great rivalry showdowns. Of course, we will have it all covered for you on The Zone coming up tomorrow night at 11:08. Let's take a look at some of the games we'll be featuring coming your way on The Zone. We got Brownsburg against Avon. We got Carmel against North Central. HSC against Fishers. The rivalry continues. Noblesville against Westfield, and Warren Central against Ben Davis. All right, folks, that's going to do it for tonight's Zone Extra. Thank you so much for watching. We greatly appreciate it. We'll see you back here next week, same time, same place.